With Georgetown is throughout the season, they've relied so heavily on Liam Connor conducting that offense from behind. He's blanketed by Charlie Johnson. Someone who's not been blanketed today, Max Sloat. He's been hammering shots from range with the lefty sniper.
He's clean though, right? Yeah. You got to make a shooter like that pay. You got to get to his eyes, you got to get to his hands, you got to get to his body. And Sloat with time, room, bullseye, barbecue, I don't care what it is. It's turn and rake.
2 goals for Sloat, up to 34 on the season. And Georgetown wins the opening faceoff of the second half. Dana, you talked to Kevin Warren at halftime. What did he tell you?
Well, he told me he was disappointed in the energy that his team came out with, and he said, I don't really have an answer for it. We didn't change jerseys. We didn't splash water on our faces. He said, we're just getting out-ground balled. Those are the hustle plays, 17-9 on the ground. And he's like, we got to win leverage specifically on the offensive end, to your point, Kark.
How do they do that?
They're going to need the pick game, and I think they need to find Bickle.
Well, that was a good shot, one of the better looks Georgetown has had, but the save made by Cunningham, who's 6 for 7.
The problem is now Cunningham's starting to get confident. You know, he lets that first one in, and since he's been rock solid.
Colorado native, he's really good at his feet. And that was a low to low, and a low release to a low location.
Just player growing.
Generally an easier stop.
Georgetown has missed 13 in a row. More than 30 minutes since their last goal. Kirschus, his pass knocked down by Banks, one of the best defenders in the nation.
Duke playing hangman up by the 37-yard line.
Essentially a 5-on-5 here. Johnston spins it back to X. The freshman Ortlieb. Shot clock at 9. That's going to be against Duke.
Push these opportunities in transition.
Johnny Price. Freshman D-Mitty. He's got 2 goals this year. Kevin Miller now, sophomore out of Maryland. Great first step. Liam Connor probing. Nation's leader in assists. Looking for the feed in front. Out of cutting Caesar.
That's been their bread and butter this season. You get the tall guy, Liam Connor, behind the net. He's got 53 assists coming into this game. He's got great eyes, good touch.
Mason shrugs off contact. Has to give it up. Timer says 20. Caesar missed the cage. The back up to Liam Connor with 17. Charlie Johnson, the All-American, meets Connor. Caesar setting the pick. They play it back to Caesar. Hangman, but the shot clock winding down. Caesar's got to go. Trying to get inside. Caesar shoots low and squeaks it past Cunningham.
What I like about this play is they used pick action behind the cage, and Caesar was able to hang his defender. It's just mixing it up, to your point. Some changes. If Liam Connor can't generate offense from behind, bring someone else involved in the pick game to do it.
Here's the pick. Boom. Matchup created. Advantageous position for the ball carrier, but time's not on Caesar's side. He leans in, swim, hail Caesar.
And you can be creative with a bunch of players behind the cage with Liam Connor in that pick game. It could be his brother Rory. You could bring Kevin Miller into the mix, who's an ex-attackman.
Georgetown had missed its previous 16 shots. They end a 33-minute scoring drought.
This guy next to us, game 4 of a doubleheader. He's got David Bowie, he's got Hail Caesar.
Fully caffeinated. Lucas Dudemain smashes the B button. It's Liam Connor, but he's turned away by Cunningham. Christmas can't handle the pass. Turnover, middle of the field. Chance for Georgetown. Duke milling in retreat. Bickle thought about it. Duke able to get back. They may have had somebody open on the wing.
Yeah, you'd like to run there, and he said just didn't have the manpower. It was like a 2-on-4 if you're Georgetown. So I agree with that decision to slow it down. A little momentum. The door's slightly opening here for Georgetown, right?
Caesar gets bumped, falls down, no flag. Kevin Miller pinballs off Warrington.
Duke, they have been the bully on the block in this game in terms of these individual matchups.
It's been disciplined bullying, though. Now, Aiden McGuire says, not in my kitchen. They send Schubert back a few yards. Now Bickle, super talented freshman. Big East Freshman of the Year. Working on Matt Christmas. He's got to give it up. Ransom, sophomore out of Charlotte. Throws it away, wanted Bickle.
To your point, though, that turnover is generated from a mismatch from a physicality perspective.
Too much friction. Yeah, too much friction for Kevin Warren and the Georgetown Swamp Dogs. Duke's just winning these matchups. They're so strong on ball in this game.
They've been ultra efficient in this contest. I mean, Duke, cumulative efficiency is 3rd in the country. They're doing it on both ends. Like, they're not turning the ball over offensively. Defensively, they're making stops. They're clearing the ball.
Drago against Franizan. And what this lead has allowed John Danowski to do, he's been able to mix in a lot more personnel on a hot day. That comes into play the later you get into the game. Colsey to Johnston. It is 7-2. John Danowski talked to Dana earlier in this game about being unselfish, making the extra pass. Quint, most of the Duke goals have been unassisted.
This goal in particular is the best team offense we've seen all day from the Blue Devils. You'll see a dodge, kick it, one more, double team drawn to the hub man, one more, layup. That's Timo.
I love where the players are from an orientation perspective. Colsey, the lefty, right next to Johnston, the righty. And as he's flowing and filling that seam, you have that just in unison because Colsey can stroke it from there, and the one more is a step down Johnson with his right hand. You put two shooters next to each other in the ball rotation, it's lights out.
Now, Colsey was somebody who had battled through injuries late in the season, and the 2-week gap between Duke's final regular season game and their first round game against Richmond gave him time to get healthy.
He got healthy, and the kid's tough as nails. He's also fearless. Like, he is going to go to the rack. He's going to shoot the ball. Last week, when the game was tied in the fourth quarter, he was the one that gave them that go-ahead goal on the road against Richmond.
Caesar and Ransom play catch. Caesar against Owen Mears, 31 in white. Feet in front, Ransom behind the back.
Bart does a nice job inside of tying the shooter's hands up.
Ransom last year as a freshman had some humongous games late in the season. 6 goals against St. John's, 9 against Villanova. They can play attack or midfield. Played attack last year when Schubert was out. Here's Schubert. Caesar from the outside. Cunningham goes low for the save. Knocked into the air. Big ground ball. That's what Kevin Warren talked about. A lot of these 50-50 ground balls. With Georgetown win the hustle points, Duke has won the ground ball battle, and they're awarded possession on a loose ball push. Duke +6 in ground balls today. Ortlieb inside roll and a score. And a pump. Michael Ortlieb, the 5-star freshman. Duke starting to pull away even further.
Q, watch how he times the roll. He uses the pressure to his advantage. Contact, beat it with contact.
He's dangerous at X. He's only a freshman. Ortlieb spinning. Duke is winning.
The road to a championship begins.
I can't wait. This is the best time of year. An incredible May is about to happen.
This is championship weekend. Welcome back to the NCAA Men's Lacrosse Championship on ESPN, presented by Yeti. The times have been set for semifinals Saturday. Now we know the matchups. Princeton will take on the Duke-Georgetown winner in the first semifinal. That will be at noon. Syracuse and Notre Dame will play in semifinal number 2 at 2:30 Eastern. Both games in Charlottesville, both games on ESPN2.
Scott Stadium, the football stadium, not at Klockner. Site of what, 2 championships in the 1970s?
Yeah.
Beautiful surface, beautiful town. It's going to be an awesome weekend.
Dana Boyle, Charlottesville native, will be everyone's local tour guide.
I have all the recommendations: yoga, coffee, shopping, vineyards, breweries. I know I'm biased, but it's one of the best places to live. And bagels. Don't forget about the bagels.
We introduced Dana to a proper bagel in Hempstead yesterday.
Yep, got to get the New York sewer water.
That's right.
And proper pizza last night. Thanks to the folks at Dario's.
Yeah.
West Hempstead.
Too high from Sloat.
When have I ever brought you to a bad place to eat? Say a lot of stuff about me. That's not one. Going down to Charlottesville next week, though.
When have I brought you to a bad place to eat in Charlottesville?
Well,
Come on.
No need to put it on Underhill. It's going to be put it on Boyle all weekend.
All right, wow. That's a little too far. Put it on Quinn.
Ben Johnston with his second of this third quarter, and it's starting to feel like a Duke runaway. 9-2 Blue Devils.
He can rip it. I mean, you build this offense around Max Sloat as a lefty shooter. Ben Johnston, who was a midi, now he's playing attack as a wing right-handed velocity guy. But to me, the parts that have gotten better, Michael Ortlieb behind the net, we've seen him. And I think Liam Kirsch as well. And their ability to change the point of attack, to attack from a wing or attack from X, it's really getting these shooters better looks now.
I was going to say, I think as all those parts get better, Ben Johnson should get those type of easier looks. You know, there were stretches in the season where it looked like he was almost pushing, trying too hard in terms of winning matchups. Those are the looks that you want.
Matt Christmas pulls the trigger. Moore comes up with the save. 11 career goals for Christmas, but the rebound to Johnston. Every bounce has gone Duke's way. But more than that, they've been quicker, faster, more alert. They've been scrapping for the ground balls. They've won in the margins. They've won outside the margins.
I think there's an edge to this team. ever since they were the bubble team, or in the beginning, things had to go their way. They weren't even in the bubble. And then they get into the bubble and then they make it. Like, this is part of their personality right now. You feel like it's Duke against everyone.
They lost to Notre Dame 7-6. They actually played really well that day, but lost. Thomas Richard-Deli made a zillion saves.
Menke, and Duke continues to pour it on.
They were iced out of the ACC tournament. Their RPI was super low at that point. And then everything changed. Everything started to swing in their favor. Menke's been a nice addition. As I said earlier, beginning of the season, he was tearing it up on the extra man and as an invert midfielder, as a passer from behind the net.
That's right, Quinn. He's got 17 assists.
He's not bashful, Carter.
No.
Like, he's not fearful. This is last year Lacrosse. He's in Fuqua, the grad school.
He's seen it all. Sneaks that by Anderson Moore, and there's a confidence to this team. And I'll tell you what else I feel. Not going to the ACC tournament helped them. It's fresh bodies, no more injuries. Like, teams that go to the ACC tournament that have to play 2 games, like Virginia and North Carolina, that's a gauntlet in 48 hours.
And in the selection, the big picture, Harvard went to the Ivy League tournament, took a loss. Maryland went to the Big Ten tournament, took a loss. Duke's resume actually climbed those teams by being inactive and by being on a bye weekend.
That'll play well in Cambridge and College Park.
Like I've always said, if this team gets in, yes, they could win a national title. Said that on Selection Sunday night. I'll say it again.
Clark, you and I did Duke early in the season when they played Utah, and we felt they got young pieces, and if those young pieces evolved, their rope unit, their defense, they had a lot of veterans, a lot of experience on the back end, and if the offense could catch up, knowing that you still have Johnston, you still have Sloat, you still have Colsey, there could be a chance. But we also said their schedule didn't allow for a big margin for error. But once they got in, they're dangerous and quick. You brought up the Notre Dame game. When Duke lost that game to Notre Dame, they found out afterwards they would not be in the ACC tournament. They had 1 game left in the regular season. That was against UNC. Paul, you and I did that game. We had no idea what version of Duke would show up because even from Duke, we got a sense, very real sense, that they thought their season was over after that Carolina game.
And if you watch them play that game, they played with almost no baggage. Nothing hanging over their heads. It was house money. They shot the lights out that day with Sloat and Scaletti and all these different guys going on runs. Scaletti gets 3 goals in the third quarter, Sloat 4 in the second. And then you just saw this team, how dangerous they would be against a team in North Carolina that's been living in the top 4 all season.
And you and I said it during that game. It looked at that point like a long shot for Duke to get in, but we said if they somehow do get in, McGurran going to the cage, Cunningham is there.
Cunningham's having a strong game, by the way.
We said if this team does get in, they have a chance to be awfully dangerous if you get the version of Duke that went and beat North Carolina, and then we've had that version now for a few more weeks. They did it against Richmond in a hostile environment, and they just dominated Georgetown today.
Absolutely. They chose to practice during that bye week leading up to the selection show, not knowing what their future was. That in itself is different.
And it's okay to have 2 opinions of Duke. Like, their first 8 wins weren't against anyone in the Ivy League, no one in the Big Ten, where the rest of the country plays those type of games, cross conference. So you could question their resume, but you could also have strong conviction of a team that could go on a run.
Meanwhile, we haven't seen Kevin Miller out there in a while for Georgetown. Dana, any update?
He's questionable to return. He's got ice on his left hip, and if they're going to stage a comeback, which it feels like the door's closing, they're going to need that option as a second option at quarterback.
Kevin Miller, a big speed threat. Finally, Georgetown gets one back. It's Rory Connor, his 54th goal of the year, the Big East Offensive Player of the Year.
This was really smooth. He's got an an overzealous approach he's dealing with, and watch him roll that approach and then hit him with the head fake on the shot. Boom, there's your roll. A little bit of a leaner finish.
I think this is a gorgeous move. He also times it perfectly. The overzealous approach almost is like the catapult for him to get towards the cage. And to do that one hand and then bring it back, that was sweet.
Gerard, another face-off win.
Kark, when you teach that to young kids, high approach, defender comes at you with a high stick, face dodge.
Yeah, face dodge, and
if they come at you with more of a poke or a midsection attack, roll that.
And if the defender is coming at you high, stay high, and then at that last second when you're going to spin, get low.
Why is that?
Because you want the contact and you want him to be overzealous, like you said, and when they're coming at you high, you get skinny and you slip low. Like, no one does that better than Connor Fields. Connor Fields will feel pressure for the archers, right? He'll feel pressure high, and he'll almost engage and initiate more of the high pressure so he could slip and get skinny underneath.
Meanwhile, another turnover for Georgetown. That's 13.
Duke's in clock management mode now with a 7-goal lead.
They'll have to go here. Difference in the shot clock and game clock, about 8 seconds. Thomas Delgado.
Delgado makes his move on Carroll, feeding Ortlieb. One more dagger. It's 11-3. It almost feels like Duke's a puppeteer here. In Georgetown right now, a marionette with a clipped string.
Look at Tomas Delgado, the speed dodge, attracting the eyes of the Georgetown defense. That's a beautiful pass. And the one-timer by Ortlieb just feels it in his stick for a fraction of a second. Tomas Delgado is an impressive young man and went to the Brunswick School in Connecticut. The only athlete in school history to be a captain in 3 sports. I know you love that, right? Wrestling, football, and lacrosse. You played those 3.
Top 10 recruit.
Today's day and age, you know how rare that is?
Ridiculously rare.
Final seconds. Chance for Georgetown. And they score right before the third quarter ends. 1.6 on the clock.
Most of the damage for Georgetown, and it's been limited, but the ball's been thrown to X or point behind right here. Defense turns their head. It's George Acton, the lefty out of the Annapolis area, played at St. Mary's. This kid we covered back in the Naptown Challenge back in the day, playing for the Annapolis Hawks.
He's a young man who this season has played with a pole and a short stick. His 2nd goal of the season, 3rd of his career. 11-4 Duke.